Have we went live yet?
Yep.
Okay, there it
Just waiting on
is.
our folk to come on in.
All right.
All right, we got some eyes on us now.
Got some eyes on us.
Yes, sir.
How many hours we got on us now?
We got 15.
15? All right, that's plenty. All right, here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey there, Panther fans. What's going on? Welcome to the 4-Man Rush. I'm your main man, Kevin Avery, a.k.a. 4MR _ Country Kev. Coming to you tonight, as always, my sidekick, my roadie, got Jadaris in the house, a.k.a. 4MR Panthers Den. Coming to you guys after a cold, dominating performance, literally cold, this past Saturday by Carolina Panthers as they defeated the recently red-hot Detroit Lions. But we had to put them on ice by the tune of a final score of 37-23. It was the record for the coldest game ever played at Bank of America Stadium, with a game time temperature, if I'm not mistaken, of about 12 degrees at kickoff, something around that time. But anyway, as cold as the weather was, the Panthers' performance was pretty much dominating for a vast majority of the game, especially in the first half. We were spearheaded by a rushing attack. I think we had over 320 yards rushing, setting franchise record for most yards rushing in a game, and set a record for most yards in the first half. I believe we had a little over 200 rushing yards in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. And outside of a second half where we let their tight end named Zylstra, become a fantasy toy for the day with his 3 touchdowns. The Panthers pretty much had kept everybody else offensively that were more known to be a threat neutralized for the most part. But overall, for me, what I liked the fact was how the team bounced back at a very disappointing, very defeated performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers the Sunday prior in week 15 to bounce back with this week 16 win here. It was great to see our Panthers show that they still have a lot to play for, have a lot of fight left, and they put themselves once again to be in a position where they control their own destiny. From here on out, we win out, we cash out. It's that plain and simple. And that's where you want to be at come December is having meaningful football where you control the narrative of what's going on. Um, got a lot to talk about here tonight, but definitely looking forward. So, JD, talk to me. When you was at home, under some, warm air, I don't know if you was drinking hot cocoa or whatever, but however you was keeping yourself warm on that cold Saturday start. Tell me, what was your impressions as you was watching the game on Saturday?
I'll be the first to mention, and I enjoy eating crow when it's something positive like this. I was facing a lot of existential dread of watching this game just because of how the Steelers game went. We got dominated in the trenches, blown off the ball, pretty much on both sides of the ball. Um, I was dreading watching this game because I'm a fan of the Lions trenches. I think they're a young group, especially on the defensive line, but they're going to add a couple more pieces and be one of the best trench units or trench built teams in the league. So I was not looking forward to it. I didn't dust off my little Keurig in the house yet, so I was just kind of just snuggled up, balled up, hoping the air kick on, the heat kick on in a second, whatever. Um, but I was pleased. I was totally pleased because we dominated both sides of the trenches. Um, and anytime you can do that in cold weather football, you're gonna win games. So um, I was pleased. A lot of good performances. Chuba Hubbard, bro. Look. I was getting ready to run that man off the field a couple times. This brother done came through in a big way. Salute to him. As always, Foreman, when we are able to get it going, he's a key piece for it. Blackshear, another guy that kind of came on a little later, was brought on to be a kick returner, and the coaches are like, well, we need him for kick returns, but if we can get him on the field other ways, we can. We'll look into that, and he's done a good job with his touches so far. I think he scored a touchdown in every game he's gotten a rush attempt, except for maybe the Steelers game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's been doing well as well. DJ Moore came on a little bit later, so at half, everybody's like, where's DJ? Where's DJ? Here he is, 10 toes down, sideline catch. This might have been the most complete offensive performance I've seen all year. Running, passing, time of possession, extending drives, touch distribution was pretty good. Defensively looked good. Golf got off on us a little bit. I think Chark had over 100. Amon-Ra St. Brown had like 74, 75, 76, somewhere in there. But we were able to get a turnover. That kind of got us going too. So while we did bend on the defensive side, we were able to get off to a hot enough start to where it didn't matter down the stretch. I would like to see us be able to bow our neck a little bit more on defense, but we will get there. And I was pleased overall by our performance. I did not think the team would have it in them to bounce back after getting punched in the mouth. But this definitely looked a little more like the protect the bank mantra Wilkes was trying to sell us on last week.
Yeah. For me, you can let me know if you agree or not. I think the key turning point in the game happened in the first quarter when out of nowhere, fumble by Detroit, fumble by Goff, and recovered by Util Gross Models. Because, as you know, with the game, we came and scored on our open possession. Bam. They came back and scored on their open possession, 7-7. They forced us to punt, and they were driving down to take the lead. Yep. And for whatever reasons, the center quarterback exchange didn't go through, and the ball just rolled directly in front of Gross model, who's quickly fell down and pounced on it. We then took advantage, put boots to asses, and went down. And instead of us being down 14-7, well, we put Detroit down 14-7.
Yep.
I just think that was that was the pendulum swing that we needed to allow us to get momentum back, because Detroit was posed to make this game a lot more interesting than what it ended up being, had they continued to that drive and would have got in the end zone. It would have put us behind. So I'm definitely, for me, that was the turning point of the game for me.
Absolutely. And at that point, they're inside their own like 20 or something. They're approaching their red zone. They're not in it already. In my head, I'm just thinking this offense can't go blow for blow with Goff like this and with the Lions like this, because they haven't been able to all year. Like, we just haven't seen them being able to answer on offense. At some point, they were going to have a dry spell of punting or something like that, because we've seen it all year. But it was the that doggone football guys, man, decided to let us get this little loose snap, and I was very, very pleased to see the extended drives going back down. Hats off to McAdoo too. I still want him gone. Trust and believe. Like, it's some stuff we've not seen that's just unexcusable. But he mixed it up well this game, and that allowed them to extend drives. Worked the passing game in there a little bit. Chenault, DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall even got involved. A couple of tight ends got involved when they did catch the ball. So that was it was a good performance on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, the performance on the offensive side, was spearheaded, of course, by the trenches, the big uglies, the our Fab Five. It was just like, me. I always tell people I focus on the trenches of the game. I wait for the replay to go back and watch the skilled players. But man, I don't know if you really zoomed in or had a chance to go back and watch. We were flying off the ball. The line was flying off the ball pissed off. Like,
yes, sir.
They were looking to seek and destroy. It wasn't nothing non-confrontational about their intentions. I just saw a lot of helmet placed on the right side. I just saw a lot of just determination to literally remove you out the way. And you remember earlier on Twitter, I had tagged you in the Baldy's breakdown that he did on us. I didn't know if you had a chance to check that out. JD, did you?
Nah, I ain't had the chance to check it out because I wanted to really, like, anytime I see a Baldy's clip, I like want to be able to sit down and rewind it and watch it a couple times.
Okay.
Did not get the chance to see it though.
Yeah, it sounded like in his background he was traveling. It sounded like he may have been he wasn't where he normally was. It wasn't quite as clear, but it was clear enough to see it. But man, he was just raving about it. He was just like, there was nothing academic about this. This was straight punish, pound, attack by the Panthers. And JD, I'm old school. I love it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing more demoralizing than looking a man right in his eye and snatch his chain, and he can't do nothing about it. Not a thing. Not nothing. So, man, it was just good to see them get their swag back, because believe it or not, Detroit's defense had been recently playing a lot better. The matchup I was looking forward to was, the battle of the rookies. I think I forgot we went number 2 overall, Hutchinson, out of Michigan, their star defensive end against Ike Ekwonu. That was the matchup I was looking for right there.
Yeah.
And if I look at the stats, I didn't really see anything or ever hear Hutchinson's name really brought up like that. 800. Matter of fact, I'm going back and all I see is 2 tackles and the rest is zeros. No sacks, no tackle for losses, no quarterback hits, no hurries. He just got in on 2 tackles. So that let me know to whether he was facing lineup against Taylor Moton or Ike Kwanu. He was it was learning day for the rookie. He wasn't going to be putting any highlight film on today. So
facts.
So that's why I definitely enjoy it. But man, just again, I done watched the game over twice since it played. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the All 22 is out today now, ain't it?
Yep, I think so. Let me double check.
I think I'll entertain myself tomorrow by zooming in and really checking out those blocking angles, because man, I'm telling you, it's like the offensive line was pissed off. I believe as to go from a franchise low 24 rushing yards to a franchise high 320 yards. Dog, you know what kind of pendulum swing that is?
No, that does not happen normal. That's not normal at all.
I mean, and literally 6 days?
Yes, short week.
Short week.
So salute to the coaching, bro. James Camp Wilkes.
Yo, if anybody deserves a raise, it's him. I don't know what other offensive line coaches are getting paid these days. He needs to be number one. However, with this coaching thing to come out, that needs to be addressed.
Look, I'm trying to keep Camp for life. He gonna be a lifer. He can't leave, bro. No. Right. He can't go nowhere. Stay right here, because the night and day from this O-line unit from 1 year. I remember we used to be in that mind frame like, okay, if we really gonna build our trenches right, we're gonna have to do this. It's gonna be over a period of like 2 to 3 years. We're gonna draft a bunch of O linemen, draft a bunch of D linemen, get them right. You know what I'm saying? Let them gel. It's been 1 year, bro. One year.
I mean, when you look at the additions, I mean, essentially you could say we got 4 starters, even though Christensen played last year, but he was playing as a tackle. I never saw him get any guard reps last year. So at 4 positions, we got 4 new starters into.
Yep.
And I was telling you guys earlier, offensive line takes the longest to gel, but once it gels, it starts clicking. And let me knock on wood. You can do the same if you got something close by. There you go. Yeah. If they can continue to stay healthy and the same, because I can't remember the last time we've had the same starting lineup this long on the offensive line this season. I think the only change has been whenever Pat Elflein went out for injury after filling in for Bradley Bozeman, who went out for injury. And, the fact that I haven't had to say his name in almost 3 months is good for me.
Excellent.
I think Bradley Bozeman has quickly became a fan favorite. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to him mic'd up or anything like that, but the guy, dude is a fun dude, man, and he just plays with that nasty, that venom, that spit and snot bubble when he, puts you on the dirt. Like, I like that about him.
That makes football fun, bro. Those be the best teammates. Those the funnest guys to watch. That have that edge to them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but let's talk about people that make your day. I know you was talking earlier about DJ Moore and Chenault. We already hit on the running backs, Hubbard, Foreman, and Blackshear, but Bearded Donald, and that's what I'm gonna call him. Bearded Donald, threw that thing for over 200 yards. I had said that it was gonna require him having a game where he had to throw over for over 200 yards, and he was able to put up 250 yards and no turnovers. I could live with that. For right now, I could definitely live with it. I mean, I get that the playbook may not be fully used, but just working within the areas that they allow him to, bruh, was that not a dime he threw to the left sideline to Terrence Marshall?
Yes.
Come on now, speak on it. I mean,
yes. Lord,
go ahead, bro. I'm gonna sit back on this. I'm gonna let you teach. I reach, you teach. Go ahead.
Lord. I'm just thinking about where we were at the start of the season in my head, thinking, okay, this is the end for Darnold. Like, there's no way they might resign this man. Like, this is it. We brought in Baker. He's going to be the starter. He's going to play through the season. Darnold's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. And he doesn't have film from this year. He wouldn't have film from this year because he wouldn't have been able to play because it was going to be the Baker Mayfield show. It has flipped to where there is a real possibility that Darnold is retained and he's the veteran in that room. But he was cooking. 15 completions on 22 attempts. I'll take it. Especially if we run it for 320 yards. But I think you're seeing him be a lot better and under pressure, even when he's not pressured. Just processing, okay, this is where I need to go, boom, boom, boom. Down the distance, we can still work on. But it was improved this week from last week. I can tell you that much. Touch on throws are there. Deep ball is there. Timing on short intermediate routes and letting his guys work in spaces there. He's looking good. He's looking real, real good. And part of that is because the offense is running the ball so well, so it takes some pressure off of him. And he's in favorable down and distances more often than he was last year and the beginning of this year when he played or when he first started playing again. But he's cooking. It might be something there if he can just continue this trend. We don't need world-beating quarterback play like we've been saying this whole time. We don't need perfect quarterback play every game now. When you can run the ball like we did, and granted, sometimes that's a huge asterisk depending on who you're playing. But given the circumstances, I don't think you could ask for much more from Darnold. Given his track record here or whatever, he's doing well. So it's going to be real interesting. It's going to be a real interesting conversation in that front office when they sit down and say, hey, we got PJ, he's an exclusive rights free agent. Darnold's here. We could probably expect this number from him here. We got to bring one or the other back, which one we want to bring back. So it's going to be interesting the direction they take for that. But as far as the skill position guys on offense, I felt good about their performances outside of Chenault because I already touched on them. DJ Moore had a good day. We talked about Blackshear. Shy Smith, I'm a little disappointed in because he fumbled. He need prayer. That's what we need. We're going to get them in the church house this offseason. Let's see. Who else do we see? I think that's pretty much it. Let me take a look at the box score real quick.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, you just bringing up, you already spoke on Chenault, like when breaking down the run play, they had put him in motion.
Yep.
Dog, Chenault came through and threw a wham block like he was a 260-pound tight end. I mean, I saw cleats in the air. Like, what the? And it was a run by Foreman right up the gut, bruh. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about right now.
Chenault is a unit.
It's like it's contagious, bro. Like that nastiness, man. I told you, man. Once you get someone in there that blocks nasty, man, and they do it consistently, man, it's like, man, I'm gonna try some of that. Hey, bro, let me get some of that. Let me get some of that off you. It's just a contagious thing that is just so fun to enjoy and watch, man. It was just, I mean, he literally came across and dude's cleats were in the air when he was done with them. I'm like, that's how you set him up right there, boy. I was loving that.
I know he got his love from the trenches guys in that meeting on today when they was watching film.
Yeah, he ain't no small dude. What he run about? What, 225, 230?
Yeah, he run there. Yep. He ain't no little dude. He built.
He's solid. Guy. He's solid as fuck, man. Yeah.
We finally saw him in the backfield. I've been saying that the last couple streams too. We finally saw him in the backfield lined up as a running back. So you can get real spooky depending on how you want to do it.
Right.
You can get real spooky at that wide receiver position and have we got two guys that in that wide receiver room that can line up in the backfield. So McAdoo gonna have to pull out some stops. Now that we're going into the he's 220, yeah. Now that we're going into playoff games in December, January games, yeah, we're gonna need to open that playbook up just a little bit, even if it's just a little Chenault wheel. You can do a wheel concept off of. We've been doing that motion where we pull them across the whole formation all year.
Yep.
Well, guess what? Boom! It's on film. They're gonna think bubble. As soon as that man come around, just tell that man just keep going. Right. And you had a whole sideline to work with, especially if you catch him in man coverage. Oh, that's a dub. So
that's money right there.
You can get real spooky. So we'll see what McAdoo wants. I know they've been putting it on film for a reason. Like everything on film ain't what it seemed like. They setting up a play. It's a setup. Right. That's right. So we'll see how they go. Hopefully they can continue to play well. I'm really, really impressed with Terrace Marshall, even though he didn't have the biggest day of his career. He's just been ready whenever the ball comes his way. Especially downfield throw, contested catches is a archetype we've been missing in that wide receiver room. So it's been good to see him do that as well. So shouts out to him. I know a lot of people, patience was wearing thin because we hadn't seen him. He was injured or whatever. Rule had that man in the doghouse or whatever. But salute to him. And we add another receiver this offseason. We're going to be looking right.
Hey, and speaking of Terrence Marshall Jr., if I'm not mistaken, I know you follow college football close to me. Wasn't he coming in with the same class with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson was considered in their same category?
Yeah. If he wasn't in that class,
LSU?
Yep. Mm-hmm. They was all there at the same time. So they pretty much all like rotated roles. Like you would have Justin Jefferson in the slot or whatever. Jamar would be your boundary guy. A lot of times Terrace would be in between those two roles. Like he would be the slot guy sometimes, and then they used him a lot down the field, jump ball situations. So he has a similar build to him, similar play speed or whatever. But I think he's a little bit better jump ball. Like that's his main bread and butter. It seems to me. But it's good to see him finally coming along.
Yeah, because at Seattle, he had to catch between his legs, tuck and roll, and everything. What? Like he's really showing that he's capable. And I want to concede this, him getting fed targets when it's appropriate.
Yep.
And keep growing and developing, man. I mean, it's like I said, it's just fun to watch. And the way Chenault broke 3 tackles to get that 43 yards down the sideline, tight roping it, bro. Like,
yep.
Like I swear I could have heard Luda move. Get out the way. Get out the way. Man. I mean, he took off. I thought he was trying to house call that thing, man. But like I said, I just like the dynamics of the wide receiver room, and like I said, once we can, get the quarterback talent to match up, man, I just think that we could be in a good place moving forward in the future. here, but definitely not opposed to adding on more to it because your boy Shy Smith,
Lord,
he makes you a little nervous on the returns.
yeah,
But
yeah.
hey man, he bust ass when he ran that slant and caught it, that slant and go.
Yep.
Bruh. I mean, I was like, okay, all right, I see you. So
yeah. Look, it's a reason why I say he was the best route runner on the team at one point. So
right.
It's I don't know what the memo is for him, but we got to get him going. He really should have a couple touchdowns at this point because on film he's open down the seam a couple times. New York blew a coverage on him. If Baker Mayfield gets him a better ball, that's a touchdown. That could have easily been a 200-yard game for the dude right there. Dropped the touchdown. Baker missed him twice for touchdowns, so could have been a big game. But I think his time is still coming to where he'll have a huge game, and everybody will be like, "Well, where did that come from?" Well, he's been doing it all year. He's just hadn't been getting the targets all the time. So,
right.
We'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, just looking over a couple of the comments here. Keep pounding, baby. Welcome back, Jay. No, yes, sir. We're gonna talk about that after we wrap this up. That's my boy, my first Sarge down there in Fort Sam, Houston. Insane Shop Monkey of YouTube said I was just let out of Twitter jail and immediately followed you guys. Hey, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate the followings and the support. Make sure when you follow one, you follow all of us now. We roll about 9 deep up in here. So hey, you gotta get us all. So definitely we appreciate the support.
I know it's a 4-man rush, but we be blinging blitzes most of the time on Twitter.
Hey man, and we could do cover 0 blitz, real, green dog blitz. Like, we come at you in different ways. So, our petty blitz package is just
insane. We on the couple
immediate results.
We on the FBI watch list for that one.
Oh, it's not a week go by somebody don't get in our feelings and want to fight us on Twitter, man. It's crazy. But anyway. I'm supposed to got 3 fights this year myself. I'm supposed to be looking forward to. But hey, anyway. Chris Parsons with something we already agreed to. McAdoo got to go. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Like I said, unless we out of somewhere finish up strong offensively and can make some noise in the playoffs, like, I definitely don't want to look ahead. Definitely want to put the cart before the horse, but let's just say, for the sake of conversation, we handled business and went out our last 2.
Yep.
All right. Number 1, NFC South champions at 8 and 9, and we would be the 4 seed. And as the 4 seed, we play the 5th seed. Guess who the 5th seed would be, JD?
Who's that?
Hold up. We them boys.
Lord.
Man, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys. And you know what? That scenario was brought up multiple times on ESPN today. And some people were saying Carolina is a team that Dallas really might not want to see if they got any kind of hopes and aspirations or whatever. So
I would love to spoil their whole party, bro. That would be.
Yeah. I want to get revenge for last year where they played Smash Mouth with us. Now we come back and we come back with the remix. Yeah. But you protected in that dome. Come out here and get some more of these 12 degrees.
Right. Right.
Arby's. Like what?
All game.
Right. And then if I'm not mistaken, and again, not getting ahead of myself, but just thinking here. So if that happens, let's just say we do beat Dallas. I think the divisional round would be we would be, let's just say, the lower seed remaining. I think we would get the number 2 seed, which I think would be the 49ers possibly. based on where things currently at. So
Yeah.
that would be in San Francisco. I mean, it would definitely be the McCaffrey Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, let's not get too crazy because, like I say, ain't nothing solidified. But just the thought of, hey, once we get invited to the dance, they're gonna have to throw us out, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh God, facts.
You got to throw us out. You got to throw us out the club.
Facts.
Yeah. But yeah. So unless we get on some kind of serious run and we start putting up 30 burgers from here on out, yeah, McAdoo got to go. Now I understand that he might be playing more cautious with the quarterbacks working with. I get that, but yeah, it would take something nearly miraculous to happen for me to change my mind about that. Let's see. Chris Parson also said, watching Baker light the world on fire for a couple of games for the Rams make me think our coaches are inept. I'm gonna let you handle that one, man.
I don't. It's a tough position to take for me because, granted, in both situations he had to eat a playbook or he had to digest the playbook in limited time. Like when he got here, we were just getting ready to start training camp, and to that point, Darnold has been in the system for the whole summer, pretty much. So 3-4 months, he's been able to digest the playbook little by little, and Baker comes in and he only has a little bit of time before the start of training camp. Then we release him. A couple of days later, he goes to the Rams, gets their playbook on the way to the on the plane. He's reading their playbook, gets out there, and wins the game. I think Sean McVay has a lot to do with that, and understanding how a quarterback thinks and how he could break his offense down to the simplest form, to where his quarterback doesn't even have to think when he gets out there; he just has to react. In case in point, they get a certain coverage look, and Baker knows, okay, I have the 9 because it's 1-on-1 over here. I'm just gonna throw that. I think their system is a lot more quarterback friendly.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can say our coaches are inept. It's just how we're built. I think McAdoo is definitely a little bit more. Your quarterback has to do a little bit more. It's an RPO. He tossed in some RPOs, but that's not really Baker's play style. Then tried to get Baker out in boot action, but they didn't do that nearly enough, and that's one of Baker's strengths. So, yeah, it just wasn't a good – I'll say this. It wasn't a good fit for him here, scheme-wise. I think McAdoo's mind was made up on having either Darnold or Corral based on how much he's using the RPOs. And then Rule said, hey, we're getting Baker. I honestly believe that's how that played out. And it's none of Baker's fault. To be clear, like, that's just the system. And I'm 97% sure McAdoo was sold on having Corral either play through it or having Darnold, who's a little bit better with his legs as a rusher.
Yeah, let's talk about Bitter Don a little bit. That's as far as the whole leg part. That's why I call him, because Sam Donald that doesn't work for me. Bearded Donald, that's the one that I'm fighting off any type of affections for. It's got to be broken up to me and little crumbs, and give me a crumb at a time for every good play, because I don't want to jinx. I don't want to jinx it by putting all the faith and trust. So I feel like my slow, sarcastic, opinion is what's keeping this thing going. It's only weird if it don't work, right?
Right.
Because I'm not gonna drink the Donald Kool-Aid just yet, because I've seen how quickly it can go the other way. So But
Yep.
bro, that first touchdown where he did that was that like I think he did like a speed option to the right with Blackshear.
Yep.
I was like, shit,
Yep.
okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he called his own number and got his own touchdown, I'm like, huh,
Yep.
okay. All right, I see. I see you here, bearded Donald. Okay, all right. Stop trying to make me like you now. You know, just don't do that. Don't do that. Just do your job, but stop doing things that make me want to think of nice things to say about you more than once.
Right. I'm crying. Not more than once. You get one at a time.
Right.
For his head gets
Cause we got baited last year after that 3-0 start, and then bro.
Is Darnold the future?
Wheels on the truck go round and round, round and round. Yeah, wheels came on that truck so damn fast.
Man.
But Bearded Donald, he cool with us. He can come to the cookout. He can get a plate. We'll he can play spades. Some dominoes with us. I might see if I got send a cousin or two that might like a little cream or coffee. We'll see what's up. This. Bearded Dog can come on through, bro.
That remind me of when Rivera said Corey Brown is a nice guy, Philly Brown is a good football player.
Right.
Bearded Darnold is the good football player of the two. Then that's what it seems like. You know what I'm saying? So
right. But but Bearded Donald with this with the legs, because it's opportunities. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want it to be something that's done instantly per se. It's just more so, hey, options 1, 2, and 3 ain't there. Okay, boom. Let me take off.
Yep.
Definitely, because there's definitely room out there. Like, he hasn't earned the level where they got to put an actual spy on him yet.
Yeah. Right.
So they're going, like you said, so they try to play man. Hey,
word,
transform and roll out. Let's get it.
Right. Just be decisive.
Right.
Also, they're helping them do that.
Right. And also, Chris Parsons said we've been pretty fortunate with injuries on the O-line. Yes, again, knock on wood. Warnold of YouTube says TNG could be a legit RC number 2. You would agree to that, right? Could be potentially the number 2.
In the future, yeah, I can see it. You remember guy used to give me headaches all the time, Vincent Jackson. And how they would, bruh, that man broke my heart several times a year. But they would put him on the boundary, and for the most part, he would be running vertical with one-on-one, or he would use his big body to go over. You know what I'm saying? I can see terrorists in that same kind of role. I'm not saying they would be the same player,
right?
But as far as tracking the ball deep, winning 50-50, from what I'm seeing here, he could be that guy. So, yeah, we can definitely use him as a wide receiver too, a field stretcher, jump ball getter down the field. That will open us up a little bit too.
Right. Definitely a dynamic possession receiver right there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, after that, he goes on to talk about your boy. Shy has shown flashes true. You just can't hold on to the ball. I think he's slow. I think he's making progress on that aspect of it as well. Again, I know with the returns, it's kind of nerve-wracking a little bit here, but
yeah.
And then the last comment here, what's up, guys? Keep pounding from Candyman 74559. So appreciate all you guys that's checking in with us through YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We definitely appreciate the love. So we're gonna talk about this offense here and how much fun it was putting on the 37. So let's flip to the other side, JD. That the Panthers defense. First half defense, only gave up 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, was able to take advantage of that that botched snap by Golf, and when it was looking like they was about to go up 14-7, and it seemed for a while there that for the rest of the second quarter and the third quarter that the defense was running a little groove there. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's just NFL. Other teams got players that's going to make plays. So it comes with the territory. Again, just looking over some stats here. One thing I like that they got a lot better from the previous week against Pittsburgh. Against Pittsburgh, they converted damn near 80-something% on third down, like 12 out of 15 or some crazy high number like that. This week, we held Detroit to 4 for 12. You give me 33% third down conversion rate every game, I won't complain
at all.
Not nothing. 4 for 12, 5 for 15, 6 for 18, 7 for 21. However higher number you want to go, I'm cool with it. Let's see. As far as total plays, about the same. Panthers 65, Detroit 61. They did most of their damage through the air because on the ground we shut that shit down.
Yeah.
And they have a very dynamic rushing attack because, as you mentioned earlier, that offensive line that the Detroit Lions got with center Frank Ragnow.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite in the draft last year, right tackle Penei Sewell. The other tackle I think it was Eric Decker, the left tackle. I
think so.
So they definitely have a formidable line that I think that was going to be the key matchup to the game. But hey man, we all that running stuff, we shut that down early and often because when I look at the numbers here, the truck only ran the ball 17 times for 45 yards for 2.6 yards per carry. Yeah. I'll take that. That's how you force a team to be one-dimensional. The longest run of the day, longest run of the day was by the quarterback Golf when he took off and ran for 14 yards. Outside of that, Jamal Williams, 7 carries for 11 yards. His longest was 4 yards. DeAndre Swift, 4 carries for 12 yards for an average of 3. I'll take that all day.
The wildest part about it is their leading rusher was Golf with 15 yards, and his longest rush was 14 yards.
Right.
Look, I didn't know how the defensive line would respond after how the Steelers did them last game. But them boys stepped up. I don't know if you've taken a look at the PFF grades yet, but looks like Bravion Roy is the second highest graded player. So that just shook me. That just shook me. I was like, what?
I definitely understand.
Yeah. Look, all them boys on the D-line can get a nice ham hock. How they play, they get a little tomahawk steak or whatever for their efforts on Saturday.
Well, damn. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that.
I'm looking at the grades, of our defensive lineman. You take Gross Matos. I think that was a bullshit penalty called on him.
Yep.
Like I even hit it on Twitter. What is the correct way to sack a quarterback? I would like to, just like we still took us the longest to figure out what is a catch.
Yep.
What is the right way to sack a quarterback? Because they might as well say it's two-hand touch on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally that close for it being that way. Gross Matos with 72.7. Matt Ioannidis coming back 77.5. Our favorite Derek Brown 89. Brian Burns 74.5. I mean, our line just Bravion 87.2. Shoot, even Marquise Haynes got in at 65.6.
I'll take it all day.
So, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. But but back to this Panthers defense though. Again, outside of that third string tight end Zylstra, I mean, they pretty much kept everybody else in check.
Yeah. Yeah, DJ Chark caught a 51-yard pass, but that was the bulk of his yards because he would have been held under 100 without that. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 7 receptions for 76 yards, along a 19. Khalif Raymond had a 56-yard catch, but outside of those guys, and those are just a handful of plays there that give them a lot of production. So outside of that, I'm have to go back and see what happened on each of those plays. But yeah, they hit a couple chunk plays, but outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Brandon Zylstra, little brother, is really the only person that had an effect on the game because he's the only one to score for him.
Right.
So, I mean, hey, I'm not mad at it. Of course, I would like to see some interceptions in there because I think Jared Goff is not that guy, and I think he's going to revert sooner than later. But hey,
yeah, I was waiting for him to have a couple of goofy moments, with the ball. Well, he did bless us with the fumble, but yeah, a couple of picks would have been nice because if I'm not mistaken, up until that game, they only had 3 touchdowns he had only thrown for 3 touchdowns on the road.
Yep.
And he threw 3 Sunday.
Yep. He looked sharp though. Outside of the fumble, he looked real sharp with the ball. And it was a little disappointing to me, but it was kind of good to see. As far as quarterbacks slipping past Detroit go, if we're thinking about the draft, so. That was pretty good to see. We should be glad that Goff is doing well.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Since we talked about the D-line, did you notice anything from the linebackers on Sunday, Kev? Saturday.
Did I notice anything? Nothing really sticking out at this point.
Good, because they're not really sticking out in these grades either. I think Lulu might have been our best run defender. I think he got a couple tackles for loss. I think Shaq almost had an interception, but he's almost had an interception. It feels like every game now.
Right.
Outside of that, I'm still concerned. Even though Brandon Smith's hurt, I'm still concerned about our linebackers. And Chen kind of lightens that blow from like tight ends and stuff that we have to cover. He's going to get a lot of those assignments. But even still, I'm slightly concerned about our depth. I think Wilson only got like 3-4 snaps on defense. 3 snaps. So I don't know. I don't know if it's because we were playing Detroit and that their personnel didn't lend to us having more than 2 linebackers out there. But
right. Because Detroit went with a lot of empty sets too, whereas had all 5 eligible options out. So
right. And it got a little hairy when they did go heavy and had on each of their touchdowns. Really, they had more than 2. I think there were more than 2 tight ends on each of those plays. So kind of see our coverage kind of fall apart a little bit from that point. And I think part of that is because we didn't have another linebacker that we trusted in that situation. But Hey, I don't know if we would you bring Shaq back next year, Kev?
Not at 24 million.
Nah.
And I think he likes being a leader here and established. Something that has happened before. It's rare, but it has happened with the Panthers, most recently with Charles Johnson, where um, voided out that contract and we signed for cheaper.
Yeah.
Um, because as great, as good and solid as Shaq Thompson's playing, he's not playing anywhere close to be getting some $24 million um, cap hit. No,
Yeah. I
no,
feel you.
yeah. So we'll. Hey, that's why we got Samir Suleiman. He's the capologist. I'm sure he's devised a plan that he's waiting to share him the moment the season ends. Hey, come on up here, let me holler at you real quick, player.
He was one of the guys I figured they would trade to get that cap hit off of him. So
There were a couple of inquiries, but
mm,
nothing that was going to worth the compensation. So
mm,
we ain't gonna just give you someone just for the hell of it.
right.
So
Fair enough. They better extend Louisville. I know that though.
oh yeah,
Got to.
yeah, Louisville, Bradley Bozeman, yeah,
Got to.
yeah, got to get that extension.
From linebackers to D backs. We know JC Horn has a wrist injury. I think today Wilkes confirmed it was a broken wrist or
Did he
some part
confirm
of
it?
his wrist. I think he somebody asked him, was it a broken wrist, and he said yeah. But he has surgery tomorrow, and hopefully, depending on how it goes, they can. He mentioned they might be able to club it up, and he can still play potentially. Well, let me fact check that. In my head, though, if it is a broken wrist, he's probably out next game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, getting yes, CBS Sports confirmed it. So it is a broken wrist. I would say he's probably out for the next game, and that kind of hurts because this is the biggest game of the season so far. We could definitely use him, but
Right.
Given the circumstances, I can't see them putting him out there with the broken wrist. Even if he does have a club, I think he'll be out at least a week. Outside of JC Horn, most people say Chin had a rough game. what was your assessment of that, Kev?
I mean, how can I put this? I mean, with Jeremy Chin, for me, it's all about who he gets matched up with. Um, and I'm just taking a look here over at at the coverage matchups, and like he was targeted 4 times, gave up 3 catches for 52 yards, so uh, didn't look too bad. Um, I think the one that hurts the most was that 39 yarder that he gave it to DJ Sharp, which I don't think he should have been covering in the first place. Again, this is an example where they forced us to change up our lineup, and we got caught.
Yeah.
Because outside of that, when he guarded the tight end, Zylstra, 1 catch for 5 yards. And he was even matched up against Amon Ross St. Brown. Was targeted twice, gave up 1 catch for 8 yards. So, yeah. So for me, I just think that when he's lined up against tight ends and running backs, That's where his coverage skills take effect the most.
He did get a pass defense too. He did get a pass breakup. I think it might have been after that 39-yard reception.
Okay.
But he did make a good play on the ball. Was able to break on it, get a hand on it. So I think a lot of it is Chin still coming into getting his feet back wet. I know I said it last week, but given that he was out for 2 months, pretty much, it is pretty much on track that he would be not necessarily playing his best football right now. But I do think he needs to be into that tight end covering role more so than covering guys like DJ Chark and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's a guy that you want to match up based on personnel and not necessarily just throw him out there.
Yep.
But I think that's something that Wilson and Holcomb will talk about later on as well. Outside of him, let's see. Any other names on here? Xavier Woods. He had an okay game. Only gave up 1 reception for 13 yards. Keith Taylor had a much better game. He was only targeted once, though.
Let a lot of people, social media tell it he's trash, he's garbage.
Yeah. You know how Panther Twitter and patience is. It's not necessarily a healthy marriage.
Very fickle and insecure, to say the least.
I think Keith Taylor is still one of our best corners, though. Honestly, from a technique standpoint, yeah, he gets caught or whatever. But what young corner doesn't get caught, especially with teams throwing the ball 45 times a game? You gonna get caught. That's just the nature of the game now. So it's just a matter of can he learn from it. And I think he's done a good job of learning from it and not getting beat twice the same way. So, yeah, I think the jury's still out on whether he'll become that guy or a starter. But I think he's still a talented football player.
Oh yeah, definitely talented.
Well, speaking of defensive backs, I'm going to give Kev some of his flowers because this man hit the group chat like, hey, something cooking. And we was like, yo, what? This man going to post the 24. We was like, hey, yo, what? Kev be giving us, look, when Kev say something, that something is brewing, his source got his thumb on the post. Like, he's literally in there. Like, he got a guy. So, Kev be trying to put y'all on. Y'all got to listen to the man because he sure called it.
All right. The crazy part is I have to sit quiet for a couple hours to Twitter and the rest of us, be going in it. And then, it's like,
yeah. Kev got to spare it. He got to spare people. He was like, man, it could be that, or it could be this. You don't never know, but I think it might. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I got to talk to y'all like I'm trying to run a wing T here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, put that wing back in motion real quick. I don't want you paying attention to what I'm doing over here.
Right. But yeah, Josh Norman is back on the practice squad. What are the odds you think that he sees playing time?
I think he get by him getting all week. I think he'll spend all week on the practice squad. I think getting used to the updated with the schemes, conditioning, things like that. So I'm not too pressed because here's the thing: we still got a spot left on our roster, on our 53-man roster.
Yep.
So I don't know if another signing may may come or not, but I wouldn't um, read too much into it. But I could definitely see him getting some reps, getting out there because with 2 games left with it on the line. I mean, wouldn't that be the most Josh Norman thing to do? Is you know, him hit the hot tub time machine and get a big pass breakup, or dare I even go as far as say a pick on Brady.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, man, I,
It would be very on
hey, like I
brand.
say, welcome back, Josh. I know a lot of Panther fans was waiting for your contract in Washington to be up. Wanted you back in, I think, 20 after the 2018-19 season. So
Yeah.
kind of bounced around a little bit. Um, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Cause that stiff arm from hell from Big Henry, boy, that was woo.
Boy,
Jeez.
I felt it in my soul.
Man,
Watch
here. My DNA that I ain't even brought to life yet felt that one. That's just
I'm dead.
Hey, saying though. But yeah, I mean, if nothing else, I'm saying that veteran, presence, because our regular scheduled veteran for the over the group, Dante Jackson, he's out for the season.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows about the highs and lows of the secondary, it definitely would be, Josh Norman coming here in 2012 as a rookie, started 12 games, figured stuff out, started freelancing, got in trouble a couple times, had to hit the bench. In the 2014 season, towards the end, injuries happened. He got playing time, and it's like all of a sudden the light just was cut on, and then he put it all together in 2015, and the rest is history. So I'm definitely thankful for that. He was an option that was available,
Yeah.
and I do think that it will reap some benefits, if nothing else, to keep that swag, that composure, that added ear to help out a Keith Taylor, a C.J. Henderson, other young cornerbacks. Because when you're going up against an OG like Brady, even though we were able to win without J.C. Horn back in October, but we had Dante Jackson, who was leading tackler that game. I think he had 10, 12 tackles that game.
Yep, 12.
So yeah, I'm all for this move, and I can definitely see Norman getting some reps come this Sunday, because we do all that just leave him on the practice squad.
Yeah, I'm gonna project a little bit. Okay. Let's just say Wilkes. We do whatever. Wilkes gets retained. I would not be opposed to Josh Norman sticking around a little while. But, however, I would probably look at putting him at safety, have him be that backup box strong safety that he used to play, that role he used to play at Coastal Carolina. I want to get him and Dante Jackson on the field at the same time, because I feel like when I think of a young Josh Norman, I think of Dante Jackson, just based on their demeanor and how they play the game. Now, their play styles are different. Dante Jackson obviously is going to be faster, a little bit better recovery speed. Josh Norman was more of a physical, long corner, but their mentality is eerily similar. Like, they're both going to talk to you. They both going to try to hit you and knock your block off. So I just want to see those guys together. I want to see J.C. Horn work on that press bell technique that Josh did so well with. I want Keith Taylor to learn how to track the ball like him, learn how to win to. I would like C.J. Henderson to learn how to transition, when to T-step out of cover 3, when you feel your cushion ate up. All these things are things that Josh did well for that even though it was a short stretch, it was a brief stretch, but he did it at league best level. And it's not many guys that can say that, hey, I was one of the best corners in the NFL for a whole season. And I was facing guys like Mike Evans twice a year, T.Y. Hilton I faced, and he only had like 12 yards or 30 some yards or something like that. Like he went through the grinder with wide receivers, and he's seen a little bit of everything. So especially his eyes for the game, his ability to take the ball away. I want that around the building for a little while, even if he's not playing. Maybe a part of the coaching staff. I want him in the building for a little while. I just have to have some of his qualities, some of his traits rub off on these young guys. But yeah, I would not be opposed to it.
Okay. I think what 2 and 3 touch and agree there. I should be also.
Come on, do it, God. Lord, do it. Well, chat has gone silent except for this one comment. We got one more comment left. We covered both sides of the ball. Why Big Jordan says smelling like a corral season in 2023. Well, I mean, we gonna cross that bridge when we get there.
Right. That part.
I'll say this, and then you can touch on it, Kevin, if you want to. Given how Darnold has looked,
bearded Darnold,
not the other one, not the smooth-faced Darnold.
Not Donald Duck. No, none of them.
Nah, not that one. Bearded Darnold has looked pretty good, and I think
solid. He's executing what a quarterback's supposed to do.
He's doing his job.
Right.
He's doing his job.
He's doing his homework assignments. We're not asking him for no special project.
Right.
None of that. So,
given his ability to do that, I think potentially if McAdoo sticks around, that's a big if because I still want him gone.
Right.
McAdoo, remember Corral is a McAdoo guy. McAdoo probably more than likely pointed at Corral on the draft board and said, "That's my guy." So if he sticks around, maybe we could get to that point. But at this point, I want them both gone. Oh, well, I'm not going to say I want them both gone because we hadn't seen Corral like that. But McAdoo's gone. If McAdoo's gone, then odds are Corral's not going. His best shot at getting on the field is McAdoo staying. So we'll see. After we make this little playoff run, though, a lot can change. So we just going to have to wait and see. Make sure I don't miss any comments.
We try to cover all the bases here. Just looking over, the breakdown. Look like just a lot of group participation. Overall, we did manage to get 2 sacks on golf, both by Brian Burns. I think Util Gross Models was robbed of one.
Mm-hmm.
We had 4 tackles for losses. Had a good day breaking up passes. We had 7 passes defended.
Yeah.
In a while since I've seen that many, and we had about 7 hits on the quarterback. Brian Burns. He's showing why those, and I'm about to step on your toes. So hope you still love me, bro. Those people that wanted to trade him for 2 first-round draft picks. I'm just saying, Brian Burns, 2 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for losses, 3 quarterback hits, 4 quarterback hurries, and a pass deflected. I mean,
what more can you ask?
Right. And bro, he's only 23.
Yeah.
So.
In my defense, I'm just a draft junkie. Like I want picks. That for better or for worse, JD gonna want picks. So yeah, but nah, Burns. Like I told him in the chat, I'm running out of reasons why we can't call Burns elite at this point. Because he's every game we've ever been in is because he steps up and he impacts the game. So it's getting hard. It's getting hard, and they're gonna have to back up like 2 or 3 Brinks trucks to keep him here. But look, that's the price you pay for elite talent in the league.
Like I say, with me knowing what our salary cap's looking like, I'm not even going to touch that until we get the numbers and Samir Suman did his thing. I'm not even going to get in that because I see it as tight, and I don't want to start giving my own self false hopes about who and what. I just hope somehow, some way, we create room to get it all done.
Yeah, get that. I know Samir in there crunching numbers as we speak.
Right now, actually.
Mm-hmm. Today.
This very moment. But hey, can we give some love to our kicker Eddie Pinero?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Eddie deserves an applause track.
Eddie,
dude,
I want to talk to you, Eddie.
He deserves an applause. He do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Eddie. Yes, sir, Eddie.
3 for 3 on field goals, 4 for 4 on extra points. Of the 37 points, he was responsible for 13 of them. So
yeah. Kev, I learned something this weekend from Pat McAfee. You remember how we talked about Eddie struggling to get touchbacks?
Right.
There's a wave in the league now where they're skying the kickoff from the tee to get extra height on the ball and trying to like put it in the air longer and it land like around the goal line for the kicking coverage unit to get down there and try to tackle him inside the 15. So it could be some of that because we've seen Eddie hit touchbacks before. It's like he's done it before, so we know he can do it. It could just be an adjustment on the league's part. Everybody. I think one of the teams is even having somebody hold the ball even when it's not necessary because most of the time on the kickoff, you'll see a holder come out if the ball can't stay on the tee.
Right.
But now they're actually having somebody tee it up on top of the tee to where they can get up under the ball better and get some more hang time on it so the kicking coverage can get down there. So maybe that's something Tabor's trying to do.
Yeah, because I miss seeing touchbacks on every kickoff. I really do.
Yeah. But salute to Eddie for bouncing back, bro.
Right. Ever since Atlanta, he's not missed.
Man.
And also the other special teamer, Johnny Hecker, our punter. He didn't have much work to do. He only punted 3 times, averaged 39 yards. His longest was 52, but his was like 2 punts inside the 20.
Yes, sir. 2 of them. 100%.
Yeah, so you are appreciated.
Did he make the Pro Bowl?
Nah.
Dang, I was hoping he made it.
I'm thinking he's an alternate, if I saw the list correctly.
All right. I mean, we'll take it.
Right. I understand that our less than sexy record, definitely not something like how he got on it.
Yeah.
His time 6 and 9.
He a punter. The punter, every time there's a Pro Bowl punter, he should be coming from the worst team because he's the one that's got to punt the most. Like, why are we seeing a Kansas City Chiefs punter in the Pro Bowl? Like, they don't even warm up.
Right. Well,
salute to Chris Tabor.
Right.
Salute to Chris Tabor. He got to stay too. He can't go nowhere either.
Nah. Him and Camp, and they need to let him know. Look here, we the OGs of this. But let's see what you got working on over there, JD.
When I what? I was looking in my Twitter DMs real quick. My bad.
Oh, you're fine.
Because y'all know how people hit me on the Twitter. We love engaging with y'all on Twitter too. So if y'all don't follow us already, go on over there and get
Check us
smoke.
out.
Get smoke. We drop film on there. We drop conversational pieces on there. We just love to engage with y'all. So do that if you ain't do it already.
Definitely.
I'm in this awkward frame to where at this point normally I would be neck deep in draft stuff, but I'm so enthralled with us having a chance and actually have something to play for that I've just been refraining from posting that stuff.
And that's cool. I mean,
Right.
we as I started off with, we are in control of our destiny.
Yes, sir.
Win 2 road games at our division opponents that we've already beaten already. Look, man, look. I'd have never been in our wildest dreams would have thought that this was even bro. When we was 1-4 after the 49ers game, I was just
Look, I was looking at the draft already. At that point, I was.
Right. Yeah, we was looking at the draft in October.
Yep. Man.
But man, I mean, I'm excited, man, because I see that now that we got the identity of who we are.
Yep.
I think Teddy Bridgewater was forecasting when he said tough ass football team, because this is definitely the definition here. Like, could you imagine his quarterback play with us right now? God almighty. If he would have been the bridge.
Like they should have let him be.
Like this would have been his third and final year.
Yep.
So
look, we would have more than 5 wins. Or 6 wins, wherever we sitting at now.
But Rule wasn't the guy that was going to get us to the promised land. So everything happened for a reason.
That's facts. That's facts.
So, hey, just saying though. Just saying.
That's facts.
The skill set of a Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback this year would have gotten us right.
Never would have thought though that we would be in this position.
I'm thankful and I'm excited because, man, like I said, if we able to pull this off, man, I mean, that would have to be the most. Wilkes will probably be the most successful interim coach.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep. he would be in the conversation. I don't know the win percentages. I have to pull that
right.
up. I might make that Twitter post after this, just so we can take a look. But
because if I'm not mistaken, I think when the Raiders before the Howard McDaniels, the guy that took over, I think he had him with a winning record too. But but man, to go from like I say 1-4 to possibly 8-9. And we bring home T-shirts and banners with a division title,
man,
and host a home playoff game.
Man, I'll take it.
Hey, look, I wear some thermal long johns if that means I'm watching playoff football in January, JD. I'll stick it out a little bit, bro.
You look, I have my 12 layers of clothing. What you said, a cup of coffee or whatever. I'll be up in there. You ain't said nothing but a word. I ain't never been to a playoff game. This will be my first because of how where we came from.
Man.
Got it out the mud is an understatement.
Right. And of all the teams that we love to hate the most, that ain't in our division, Dallas. Come on,
Dallas, man, what? What?
Yeah. It's fun to think about. Like I say, let's.
Yeah, we got
we got to handle business this Sunday. So
stay at where your feet at, as Wilt say.
Right.
Insane Sock Monkey said the Panthers always knew who they were. They just had a new owner come in and try to change their identity. That's fair.
Yeah, I think that Tepper probably didn't understand the full grasp of the culture that was grown up under the Ron Rivera era, and I think that it took one of whoever idea was to bring Wilkes on this coaching staff, whether it was Rule or whatever. It's I just think that was truly divine intervention because Shaq Thompson said it best. You know, he was here. He knows what the vibe of the city was like. He knows what it was, and hey, I'm just all for it. I'm just glad that he's getting a chance to show that how wrong he was done in Arizona. And like I said, man, you know, to be a hometown kid, high school, you know, college, HBCU assistant. I mean, just to pull this off, man. Like, hey, you know, you can't get a better story out of Hollywood out of this situation with Wilkes if it plays itself all the way out. So
yeah,
but yeah, he definitely has a beat for what the culture is. What's our motto? Keep pounding. How we win in the games, we keep pounding on these motherfuckers. You know, we do it with no apologies.
None
whatsoever. Like, bro, like one of my favorite plays was when we had the when Ian Thomas had the penalty, put us back at 1st and 15, and what we do, hit an inside zone to Chuba, and he got a first down.
Yep. And pop 30 off of it.
Up the good. This wasn't no sweep. This wasn't all time. This was up the good. He was able to bounce. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what we do. Oh, 1st and 15, run it. So
my goodness. We might have some breaking news.
What's that?
Oh, somebody said in here. I don't know if it's official. They said Josh Norman chose number 22 despite CMC.
Oh, why would he do that? I mean, he was gone before CMC even was a Panther.
Right. They never played together. I am interested to see which number he picked because I might buy a jersey.
Who currently has his number 24?
CJ Henderson.
Okay.
I don't think he's coming up off of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might cop a little jersey though, depending on how I'm feeling, what my accountants say.
Right.
He'll be like, now JD, you can't be spending no money on the jersey of this man. He gonna play 2 games and then he gonna be a free agent again.
Like, why not?
Why not? What you mean? It hang up in the man cave next to the Luke Kuechly and Cam Newton. Well, all hearts and minds clear, chat. Last call for comments because we had it for an hour and 30 minutes.
Right. I'm just scanning on Twitter real quick. I ain't seen nothing about the number.
All right. It might have been a joke.
True.
QT0 broke my neck. I was like, what he did? I might pick number 23 if I was him. Do we have a number 23? I don't know. He said, okay, QT0 said, I'm just trolling. I bet. Okay. Makes sense.
I'm curious to go to the team.
Go ahead.
So I'm curious. I'm on the team website here. I'm looking at the numbers.
I don't see a 23 on here. Oh, Stanley Thomas Oliver. He's on IR.
Right. Okay. So I see they got a Josh Norman on the Panthers team website. They got him on a press card, but they don't have a number updated as of yet. So
yeah, not yet. Could be by early as tomorrow, depending on if he practiced.
But I'm curious. I'm showing that we got Kenny Robinson back on the. Is he back on the practice squad?
I don't know, because I remember when they had let him go. Deontay Brown, Phil Hoskins. Yeah, he on here.
All right, I just thought I'd take a look here.
Austin Wright said, hopefully Josh go back to his Greenwood, South Carolina high school number 6. I think that's PJ. No, it's not PJ. I forgot he changed his number.
Yeah, PJ number 11.
Yeah. Because he gave it up for Baker. 6 is vacant then.
Okay. QT0 says, I'm just trolling, LOL.
I wouldn't even look at that as a shot to CMC because 22 is just a clean number.
Right. Well, I see nothing else from the chat here. So,
yeah.
Like I said, we are minute 30, hour 33 in. So yeah, man. So, final comments here, JD. I'd just like to say that, it's going to be fun researching and, getting ready for this game to see what happens. And definitely, I think the players will enjoy being in a much warmer climate down in Tampa compared to what they just experienced. But I'm looking for us to be on a strictly business mind frame and come down there to kick ass, handle business, and bring that divisional lead back to Charlotte.
It's a playoff game. I think this is going to be like a playoff game atmosphere, and that's how you have to approach it. Because if you got to win this one to get to next week,
right?
So,
like you got to win to make it matter.
Yep, that's right. So they got to approach, and I think that's part of the reason why Wilkes opted to bring somebody who has been in the playoffs with the team before.
Mm-hmm.
You got to approach it just like playoffs, and playoff football is always going to be a little bit more attention to detail oriented, because it's the small things in playoff games that can tip the scale, especially in football in general, but it's magnified in the playoffs. So since everything's on the line, you win, you go home. So it's going to be interesting to see from our young team how much they have grown and matured to handle a environment like this versus a guy that's historically been surgical as Brady, and a guy in his own right who has plenty of playoff experience. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited. This young team has me excited, bro. Like, when we started the year, I didn't think we would be in this position. I'm gonna keep saying it because I'm just in shock that we are here. Like, we control our own destiny. It's in our hands. Like, we can win. If we win 2 games, we there. We take care of business 2 times.
2 times for the good times.
Right. Then we right there. So it's just a surreal time, man. High five every Panthers fan you see, because we done struggle for this right here. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm so excited to see what these guys do, especially after they bounce back after a performance where they got kicked in the mouth. Pretty much, they bounced back and did the same to somebody else. So that resiliency is excellent to see, especially rolling into a game that matters this much.
Right. So, yeah, man, let's just handle our fucking business, man, and see what happens. Because, like I say, once you get to the tournament, all bets are off.
Yes, sir.
That who's playing well, who's playing to their strength, who's imposing their will.
Yeah.
So, and the way we play style of ball, it has shown that it can work in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Once
you get in the dance, your record don't matter no more. Your regular season record out the door. You 0-0.
Exactly.
Trying to make it 1-0.
Right. Yep. Well, let's here. Appreciate you fans for checking in with us once again. Thank you for always being a part of the 4-Man Rush. On behalf of all of us here at the 4-Man Rush, that's myself, JD, the rest of our crew who's out there, working, grinding, take care of their business. Always shout out to, Will Harris, Big Smooth, Vince Holmes, Noah Thornburg, Monty Fetty Jr., to the whole squad, Cornado, Greg James, even you, Darren Collins, you still our boy, man. So don't have brand new on us. So definitely, we like I said, we run 10 deep here at the 4-Man Rush. So, you gotta be careful with us. It's hard to be, I had to say. But yeah, man, I just really just want to thank you guys, and like I said, the way you interact with us, the way you challenge us, because even if we have a disagreements, man, make sure we checking our shit. We're making sure our research, what we're saying is right, that is backed up, and things like that. So appreciate you keeping us on our toes. And like I said, just looking forward to good, strong, healthy week of practice. Let's go down there and shock the world, because if I'm not mistaken, JD, Vegas got us at a 5.5 point underdog.
Yep.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Okay. All right. Bet.
No, Vegas been wrong before.
Oh yeah, and have
plenty of times this year too. So,
yo, and shout out to anybody that made any bet on the Panthers winning the division this year, because you about to get paid.
Yes, sir.
So definitely make sure you.
Well, if you did place a bet, hit me on Twitter. Let me hold something. let me touch a little bit of that.
Right. Look, if I can just touch the hem of your garment.
Lord, what you said. What? I can help you crease them bills or whatever, and iron them out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Found a shot of here looking here. ICP, who said Ken is a safety. QT0 said he live out there in Cali, so he'll be happy to see that, you know. And then Austin Wright, salute Foreman Rush, salute back to you, Austin. So again, appreciate you guys following us and catching in. Even if you joined us late, you can always go back and watch us again. But again, thank you all. We're going to wrap this up. Hope you guys had a great Christmas holiday weekend. Looking forward to a great New Year's weekend. And, you know, Jada, had they said possibly we might get flexed, or are we still on for 1 o'clock, or that decision hasn't been made yet?
I think they flexed a different game. I think they might have flexed. Let me see. This week 17, right? They flexed the Rams at Chargers.
Okay, that's cool.
So we still on for 1 o'clock, I believe.
All right.
But we got a donut. We got a donation.
Wow. Hey, yo, appreciate that. Shout out to don't let me mess this up. Is it Kieran Choi?
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Yeah, so forgive us if I'm murdering your name. You know, I'm a country boy from the Carolinas, but definitely appreciate the contributions here. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. We got to pull up in Tampa and step on the next. We got this. Hey, you damn right.
Yes, sir.
Like I say, we need to impose our will. We're going to be physical. We're going to execute. We're not going to beat ourselves, and we're going to be consistent. So all three phases of the games, offense, defense, and special teams. So we're fighting for something that nobody would have believed 2 months ago, hell, even a month ago would even be possible. So
yeah,
this is why you got to love the NFL. You know, you just really can't predict how things going to be and how it's going to finalize. So you just have to ride with it.
I'm just gonna call my shot real quick before we get off air. I think I'm feeling Brian Burns has his best game as a pro. I just got that feeling.
Okay, all right.
I just got that feeling, man.
I'll counter that, and I feel like Derek Brown's gonna have a breakout game.
Now, if they both have a breakout game, chat, y'all gotta buy us something nice because we gave you the insider trading.
I mean, Derek Brown would impact game where he actually gets a sack or two, or you know, some tackles for losses, like really leave his mark on the game. Because boy, this interior of the Bucs,
yeah,
man, and him and Iodonis, they should be eating. Oh my God, they like that A-B gap pressure, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, turnstiles, like
they down to tackle too.
Right. So, yeah, their third string tackle got carted off last night. So,
yeah.
Hey, man, we got to go get it. That's all I can say. We got to go get it.
Facts.
All right, but again, want to thank you all. Appreciate it. Definitely stick with us. Catch us on our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You know, you can catch us on IG as well. And this down next week, hopefully we're celebrating a win in Tampa. Looking forward to finish up the season strong, going down to New Orleans and stomp them Saints out. So definitely looking forward to what the next 7 days will hold. All right. But again, this is Kevin Avery coming to you guys. Again, thank you, Jadarius, for riding along with me. Appreciate all you fans. Thank you for choosing the 4-Man Rush. You guys take care and be safe.